Force 13 HQ. This is September 4th, 2017. Here's your tropical weather bulletin. Good morning, September 4th, and we currently have Irma, of course, still a Category 3 and fluctuating between the categories as it moves through the central Atlantic. It's accompanied by Mawar across the other side of the world, making landfall in China and won't be with us for much longer. So just the two cyclones active right now, no invests at present. This is what it looks like right now in the Atlantic. Let's take a look at Hurricane Irma. Hurricane watches are in effect for large parts or several of the islands of the Leeward Islands in the Lesser Antilles chain. It's 959 millibars, 115 miles per hour, verified by a recent pass of the Reconnaissance aircraft. And it's currently moving south of west at this time and is likely to pass very close to those islands as a significant hurricane in the next few days, probably at Category 3 intensity. This is where we expect it to track in detail over the next 3 days or so. By Tuesday evening, passing through the islands into Wednesday morning, and by the end of Wednesday it will be north of Puerto Rico and probably moving towards the Turks and Caicos Islands and the Bahamas, which some of the models are very excited about for a particularly high intensity storm, which is obviously something we don't want. This is the satellite presentation, the whole of the Atlantic there. Here's ex-Lydia in the East Pacific, what's left of it after it made landfall on the Baja California Peninsula as a tropical storm not so long ago. The rest of the East Pacific looks very quiet. Don't forget that area of interest in the Atlantic, by the way, 60% in the next 5 days. And in the Western Pacific, tropical depression Mawar moving inland over China and a potent disturbance off the coast of the Philippines, but nothing has been initiated on that just yet by any of the agencies. But looks interesting nonetheless. In the Australia and South Pacific region, it's obviously off-season. Not too much going on here, just some tropical disturbances near the equator, but very little besides. And in the Indian Ocean, very monsoonal around the equator there, north and south, but very little going on in terms of actual tropical cyclone activity. Doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon. Sea surface temperatures will focus on the context of Irma right now. Fairly warm and going to be increasing in temperature as the storm moves towards the west. 26 to 28 very soon as Irma continues towards the west, and possibly nearing 30 as it enters towards the Bahamas if it goes there. In the Western Pacific, sea surface temperatures very warm there as well, 30 degrees plus in the Philippine Sea, and out near Guam is probably the hottest point of the Western Pacific. So the latest imagery on Irma, it had a decent eye not long ago, but now the presentation of its eye is as bad as my voice, and it's moving towards the southwest. Recon are in it right now, and they found, last time I checked, it might have changed since then, but the western side of the eye was open. It's probably going to be in the grasp of a restructuring over the next 24 hours. Some of the models extremely bullish. The HMON model, by the way, says it will be a Category 5 by the end of Monday, but that is not going to happen given its current presentation. So our totals for 2017 so far are as follows: 7 depressions, 32 tropical storms, 9 Category 1s, 5 Category 2s, 5 Category 3s, 4 Category 4s and 2 Category 5s. Quite a shopping list there, and not too far away from the totals you'd expect for a whole year. And if we take a look at how we stack up against all the years since 1900 for tropical storms or higher, we're 85th in the company of 1926 and 1942 and 1929, which all had 57. That's where we're at right now. 1911 and 1937 up ahead. None of the years there in that list have been particularly recent. So it's the third major in a row if you go by Force 13's numbers for the Atlantic, as we believe that GERT was a major awaiting post-analysis. In the East Pacific, of course, the next name is Max. In the Atlantic, it's Jose. In the Western Pacific, it's going to be Guchol, which is one of the storms I remember tracking back in 2012, followed by Talim, and List 7 begins in the North Indian Ocean, beginning with Oki. It's the next name over there. In the Southern Hemisphere, the first name in Australia will be Hilda, Ava in the Southwest Indian Ocean, and Fahey in Fiji. That's all from me for now. I apologise for the voice. I've been unwell, but live events likely to continue to begin on Monday.
You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.co.uk at your service at any time with its tracker. You can also find us on YouTube, search Force 13 if you're not there already, subscribe if you haven't. You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter, search Force 13 all in text to find us on there. You can also add Fool13 on Skype, that's FOOL13, and add extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.